Hey everybody, how's it going? So, I was out here cleaning. Not that you can tell, but you'll notice that the pop-up camper is no longer here. That is done and out ready for this weekend for deer hunting. I will make a video of that this weekend while I'm out there deer hunting. But I was in here cleaning and the dumpster is full now, so until the dumpster is empty, I'm done cleaning. So I thought, well, I'll make an update video. There's some people asking about some stuff, so I thought I'd make an update video. So I got the 7 in here, got the 6 in here, got the 40/20 in here. They're in here for the winter. The shop always stays, at least 10 degrees, sometimes 30 degrees warmer than it is outside. So I like them sitting in here for the winter. It's easier to start them if you need them. So, and you know, if it gets too cold, can always turn on the torpedo heater or flip the old wood stove furnace to blow into here. So, and this winter will be a good time to get everything serviced. They all need their oils changed again, filters changed, interiors cleaned, windows washed. That tractor, my exhaust pipe is bent. On one of my rental grounds, there's a freaking oak branch that hangs down. And of course, I went underneath it 3 times the 6400. Never even thought about this pipe sticks up higher than the one in the 64, and I caught it. I bent that pipe all the way back to the roof. Luckily, I had an extra pair of gloves in the tractor that I could wrap around the pipe and push it back forward to get it off the cab. So I have a new pipe that comes from the muffler, loops around and down, comes out here. So I got this pipe new. This pipe, I'm just going to cut it shorter for now so it kind of matches the one on the 64. And then I have just one of them stainless band clamps I'm going to put on there. Reason I'm going to put that on there instead of flaring it, doing it this way, is if I ever find another tree that it catches on, I'm hoping that it'll pop out of the band clamp without bending a $300 and some piece of pipe. So I got to do that. And of course, this tractor needs to be washed, interior clean, and serviced. So they're all in here for the winter for that. And then I'll do an update on the bobcat too in a minute. So yeah, and the 64 will get used this winter for chopping hay and probably hauling some manure. It's hard to tell. It'll get used for chopping hay, I'm pretty sure. I don't know if I'll use a 40/20 for that or not. But 40/20, you'll notice, has a much nicer cab on it now. I did a horse trade with a buddy, and I traded the fenders from this tractor for this cab. I don't know who got the better deal, but this cab, all the lights work. Reach up in here and flip them on. There's only one light that don't work. So those ones work. This fender light is burnt out, but I think I'm going to replace the fender lights with these square cheap tractor lights right there. Got one light in the back. I need to get one more light for there if I think I need it, but I don't really use this tractor a whole lot at night. Maybe for feeding, but I don't do a whole lot of farming after dark anymore. Not with this tractor anyways. If I do, it's usually with the other two. But it has all the shields. I haven't put those in yet because there's about 800 hours on this clutch since I put it in, so I'm going to adjust the pedal. It's still within specs, I think, but I'm going to loosen it up just a smidge. But the interior light works. It has heat, but we're still trying to figure out the heat. How I have it plumbed, I don't know if it's getting enough water flow. So I was looking on John Deere's website and looking for different plumbing options to try and run the cab separate of the oil cooler, because right now I have it coming out of the oil cooler through the cab, and then it goes back to the return tube that goes up to the water pump. And I think I'm going to get the fitting that goes on top of the head and plumb it out from there to the cab, and then there's a return that you can put on this side of the engine, so I might get that. But that's the heating thing, and the wiper actually works on it. So it actually has a good wiper blade. So that's the skivvy on the 4020. Like I say, I have those shields to put in yet, and then this front shield, this cab was on a 3010, and this front shield is too tall. So I either need to cut it down and drill new holes, or I don't know for sure what to do on here. If I look hard enough, I might still have the old one from the other cab. And then I still have my mirror. I have to cut the brackets off that cab and weld them to this cab one of these days. Probably won't do that until spring though, because with where I'm using this tractor to feed the cows right now, I have to drive really close to the calving barn, and I have a feeling I might take the mirror off if I put it back on. But anyways, the 4020 has a cab. It's great that it's just all enclosed. That's by far warmer than outside. Yesterday, I couldn't hardly get it to blow out any heat. And I just hooked the heater up the night before. And I ended up dropping this down, cracking the line, got water or antifreeze to flow. And now it's blowing a little bit better heat. But like I say, I think the plumbing is wrong. And there's a little petcock down here that John Deere has a deal. You can screw that out and then screw a pipe thread in there. And the one heater hose is right here. And then there's a fitting that you can get that screws into the top of the head on that side. I think I'm going to go that route and then put the oil cooler back to just the oil cooler. Because I think that's just slowing down the flow too much. I don't know. But, yeah, so the 4020 has a cab now. The seat's still kind of a piece of junk. I'm thinking I'm just going to find a boat seat with flip-up armrest to put in it and get rid of that seat. But, anyhow, I don't know how much I want to stick into it because I still want another 6400 with a loader. It's always on the wish list. I love that tractor. That is by far my favorite tractor. So, anyhow, that's the 4020. Now on to this. So I had a whole lot of rock hauled in here, shale rock and lime rock, to build up different areas. And about three-quarters of the way through the project, my oil light came on. And I drove it in the shed and parked it. Went in the house for a while, came back out, fired it back up. Had a little bit of a funny sound, like, it's not totally right. But that might just be in my head because this exhaust pipe is leaking, and that might be what I was hearing. But anyways, I took the oil filter off, fired it back up, and sure enough, no oil coming out. So I drug it in here with a new machine, put it here. I got to take the whole front off. The oil pump is right down below the crank, underneath in that front cover, like what you would call a timing chain cover type of deal, but it's has the gear for the injection pump, crank, and all that crap. Anyways, the oil pump's in the bottom there, so easy enough to get to. Just got to get it done. So this needs an oil pump, and in the meantime, of course, I needed a machine for feeding. My neighbor, who I do all their hay, I cut, ted, rake, bale, and wrap dry hay for horses for them. He's a bobcat dealer. So I called him up and asked him what he had for machines. And that's what I got. So they brought me this machine to run for the weekend to see if I really liked it. And I moved 2 buckets of rock, and it was out of hydraulic oil. They just put brand new drive motors in, and there was something else wrong, and it blew the seals out of the brand new drive motors. So they came to pick it back up to fix it again, and then they brought me a brand new S595 to run until this one was fixed. So they put two new brand new drive motors in here, and I don't know what they did with the old ones, which were brand new, if they sent them back or if they resealed them, what they did, I don't know. But anyways, there's filters or something in here. I don't know what it was. That's the reason it blew them out. They fixed everything. Then they brought it back to me and had me run it for a week before we signed the papers on it. So anyways, bought this machine about 2 months ago. Had 2,000 hours on it when I bought it, or 2,900 hours on it when I bought it. It is like 1 hour shy of 3,000 hours on it now. So I put 100 hours on it in the last 2 months. Factory cab. It has heat with no air conditioning. exactly what I wanted. I do not want air conditioning. That's just something else to plug up, cause problems. So, factory heated cab, has awesome heat. Nice door that seals nice. Has a wiper motor, which needs to be replaced now because that kind of crapped out on it the other day. One thing I'm not crazy about is the fact that it does not have factory power bobcat. So I have my aftermarket quick attach plate on here, power attach, which you can see the hoses run up to the auxiliaries. So that's how you run the attach and detach on it. So not ideal, but it's the high flow and all that crap. It is not a 2-speed, it's just a single speed, which is fine. It's been a great machine for the last 100 hours that I've run it now. It is the same motor as the 763, but this one's obviously turboed and must be turned up because it's a little bit harder on fuel than the 763. But I can't complain. It's doing really good. So everything's nice and tight on it. The drive chains are nice and tight. Controls are nice and tight. Obviously the drive motors are brand new. And the hydro to me looks like it's been replaced too, so hard to tell. And yeah, I had to pick the cab up on it right after they brought it back, or I guess not right after, it was just a couple weeks ago. I was out gonna move some equipment to get everything set up to put the cows out for the outwintering project, and one of the drive linkages fell apart. So I had to lift the cab to fix that, which was just putting the bolt back in, tightening it. And to me, it looks like the hydro has been replaced too, so should be a good machine. So like I say, it's like an hour shy of 3,000 hours on it right now on this one. And the other Bobcat, the 763, I have owned that machine for, I don't know, 10 or 11 years, something like that. That one had 4,500 hours and some change on it when I bought it. And I used this machine just as much as I'm using the new one. So I am guessing this machine has somewhere north of 10,000 hours on it. So I really can't complain. It needs an oil pump. The little bit of maintenance I've done to it over the years, I really can't complain about this machine. And that is why I stuck with Bobcat. You know, it's super easy. If you ever need to change that belt, which in all that time, I only put one belt on here and I changed the tensioner at the same time. There is a video of that on this machine. So, you know, it's been a damn good machine. I cannot complain. Only irritating part is I put 2 brand new tires on it 3 days before the oil pump went out. But we will get her going again and she will be back in service. So I thought about selling it and putting that money towards another loader tractor, and my wife thinks I should keep it. So we will see what happens. It's been crossing my mind to put this on an auction and the 4020 on an auction to buy another 6400 with a loader. But we will see. We don't know what to do. We just roll with the day-to-day. So obviously the 4020 is doing all the feeding right now for the cows. The new machine is feeding the steers every other day. And once the ground finally freezes, the skid steer will get used every day and the 4020 will not get used until it gets muddy again. So it will sit in here over the winter. But so yeah, I'm trying to get my mess all cleaned up out here. All the insulation, the rats knocked out of the walls. Yes, the rats. I made the mistake of putting that cob corn in the lean-to on the back side of that wall. Well, the rats chewed through the wall and are now living in my walls. So the corn is now gone. I'm just waiting for all the rats to leave. And then have a big plan to remodel my shop one of these years. Lumber prices and steel prices ever come back to normal. So we'll end up taking the steel back off the walls. And that wall, I don't really need to take the steel off if I keep it this way. I just need to fix the wall on the outside so them little pricks can't get in it anymore. But that wall, and that little stub wall, I need to take the stuff off and pour concrete in the bottom so they can't get up from underneath. Because, yeah, they've burrowed underneath. And they somehow get underneath there because you can hear them climbing up that wall, which you could really hear them before the corn disappeared. Now that the corn is gone, I don't hear near as much rat activity in the walls, but there is still rats in the walls. So anyways, the plan is to remodel this and redesign it a little bit so it's longer that way, and then it's only going to go to that post right here, and then the combine's going to sit on that back side of the wall. So that's the plan, but like I say, lumber prices need to come back down, and we need to get the cow shed built first. So I stopped down to order materials the other day, and you still cannot get 5x6 posts at our local mill. So he told me to come back in a couple weeks and place an order for this winter for the posts, so I have them for next spring. That will be for the cow shed. So yeah, that's just an update. Some guys have been asking about what the deal was with the bobcats. So that's an update on the bobcats. Here's an update on the 4020. Because like I say, some, pictures of this stuff goes on Instagram. So a lot of people see this when it happens. But I haven't been making a whole lot of videos anymore because it's so damn busy at the meat plant. And then it's extremely busy here as well. So the farm just keeps getting bigger. And I'm still only one person, so I'm kind of strung out at both ends. So yeah, and we do have 3 calves out there. I think in my video of, my last video, the one I made of the cows and out wintering, 2 calves were on the ground, Oreo's calf and Patty's bull calf. Now we have 24 had a heifer calf the other day, which will be the thumbnail for this video, I'm pretty sure. And it is a red calf, or a brown calf. To me it looks red. And which is kind of odd because her mother is black and the sire was black. But both the sire and the dam had Simmental in them, so I'm pretty sure the red is from the Simmental, because it's not from Red Angus, because I've never had Red Angus. I have only had red and white Simmental bulls, so it has to be from that. So anyway, yeah, I will probably end this video now, and then I will make a video this weekend while deer hunting of the new hunting shack that we built from the pop-up camper. I have the battery from the little Fordson right here charging. That is going to go out to the pop-up camper, run the 12-volt lights in there. We got all the lights working, but I ordered LED bulbs to put in there so it won't draw as much electricity. So that battery is basically just going to run the 2 interior lights and the 1 light that's like outside. It'll get used very little, but it'll be nice just to have working lights in there. And I have a bunch of other stuff ordered for it that are supposed to come late this week for my heating in there and cooking. I have a cooktop that I'm going to hook up so I can cook while we're out there. So the old Larson Valley Farm deer camp is kind of growing now. So we're going to have, my shack is kind of going to be a meeting place where we can cook and everything. So, and I can spend the night out there if I want. But, so that's a little update of what's going on. So, anyways, I think I'm going to end the video here, leave it at that. I'm going to do a little bit more cleaning here tonight, and then go to bed so I can go cut more beef tomorrow. So, anyways, thanks for watching, everybody. Stay tuned for more, and we'll catch y'all in the next one.